Imagine being the daughter of American royalty. You are young. You are beautiful. You have the world at your feet, and your brother is destined to become the president of the United States. You go to parties in London, you meet the king and queen, and the press loves your smile. But then, one day, your father takes you for a drive. He tells you it's for your own good. He takes you to a doctor because you are a little too rebellious. The doctor straps you to a table, keeps you awake, and asks you to sing "God Bless America." He inserts a sharp instrument into your brain. You sing, and then you stop singing. You stop speaking. You stop being you. When you wake up, you are no longer a 23-year-old socialite. You are effectively a 2-year-old child. And the worst part? Your family, the most powerful family in America, locks you away for 20 years and pretends you never existed. This isn't a horror movie. This is the life of Rosemary Kennedy. And today, I'm going to show you why being a Kennedy daughter in 1941 was a death sentence, without actually dying. To understand this nightmare, we have to start with the curse of perfection. The Kennedys were the American dream personified. Joe Kennedy Sr. was obsessed with winning. For him, image wasn't just everything, it was the only thing. He had a plan for his sons. Joe Jr. would be president, Jack would be a senator, and Bobby would run the courts. But in this picture-perfect machinery, there was a glitch. Rosemary was born during a flu epidemic, and the doctor was late. The nurse tried to delay the birth by holding Rosemary's head in the birth canal for 2 hours, depriving her brain of oxygen. Therefore, as she grew up, she was different. She was slower to walk, slower to talk, and struggled in school. In any other family, this would be a challenge, but in the Kennedy family, it was a crisis. Joe Kennedy didn't accept second place. He didn't accept weakness. So Rosemary tried. Oh God, she tried so hard. She wrote letters to her dad saying, "I would do anything to make you happy." She practiced her handwriting for hours just to please him. She wasn't crazy. She was desperate for love. As Rosemary hit her 20s, things changed. She became rebellious. She liked to party. She liked boys. She would sneak out of the convent school at night to wander the streets of D.C. For a normal 23-year-old, this is growing up. For Joe Kennedy, this was a ticking time bomb. He was terrified. What if she got pregnant? What if she embarrassed the family? What if she ruined her brother's political careers before they even started? The fear ate him alive. He needed a fix. He needed it fast. And he found a doctor named Dr. Walter Freeman who promised a miracle cure. It was called a lobotomy. Now, I want you to really listen to this part because it sounds fake, but it is 100% documented medical history. Dr. Freeman wasn't a monster in the eyes of the public. He was a celebrity. He believed he could cure mental illness by severing the connections in the frontal lobe. Joe Kennedy didn't tell his wife, Rose. He didn't tell his kids. He made this decision alone. Imagine that. Your own father, the man who is supposed to protect you from the world, is the one signing the paper to destroy you. November 1941. Rosemary enters the hospital. She is calm. She trusts her dad. The doctors shave her head. They give her a local anesthetic so she doesn't feel the skin cut, but they keep her awake. Why? Because the brain doesn't feel pain, and they needed her to respond. Dr. Freeman inserted an instrument that looked like a butter knife into her skull. He began to wiggle it. He asked Rosemary to recite the Lord's Prayer. He asked her to sing "God Bless America," and she did. She sang. She counted. And as he cut deeper and deeper into her brain tissue, her voice began to trail off. She mumbled. Then, silence. The knife had done its work. The rebellion was gone. But so was Rosemary. The surgery was a catastrophe. It didn't cure her mood swings. It left her with the mental capacity of a toddler. She couldn't walk. She couldn't speak intelligibly. She was incontinent. Joe Kennedy had destroyed his daughter to save his reputation. But here is the true horror. Instead of caring for her, instead of admitting his mistake, he erased her. Therefore, Rosemary was shipped off to a psychiatric institution in Wisconsin. For 20 years, her name was never spoken. JFK became president. The Kennedys became icons. And all that time, Rosemary sat alone in a cottage, staring at the walls. Her mother didn't visit for 2 decades. Her father never visited her again. Not once. Think about the isolation. Think about the confusion. One day you are a princess, and the next you are a prisoner in your own body, abandoned by the people who claim to love you the most. We often look at history through the lens of the great men, JFK, the hero, Bobby, the visionary. But let's look through Rosemary's lens. She was the sacrificial lamb. Her destruction paved the way for their perfection. Yet, ironically, her tragedy birthed the only pure good the family ever produced. Her sister, Eunice, was horrified when she finally found out what happened. Therefore, Eunice founded the Special Olympics. She fought for the rights of the disabled. The entire disability rights movement in America exists, in part because of the ghost of Rosemary Kennedy. She changed the world, not by leading it like her brothers, but by suffering at its hands. Rosemary Kennedy died in 2005 at the age of 86. She outlived JFK. She outlived Bobby. She outlived the father who broke her brain and the mother who stayed away. In the end, the perfect Kennedys died tragic, violent deaths. The broken Kennedy survived. Maybe that's the final irony. They tried to erase her to protect their legacy. But today, we don't just remember the presidents. We remember the girl who sang "God Bless America" until she couldn't sing anymore. We remember Rosemary,